Hey guys, welcome back to the Calibrate Tools and DIY channel. How you guys doing today? Sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late. Sometimes it gets like that. Um, Once again, back at you here on a Tuesday, 7 o'clock, and hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Um, Hope everybody had a good week so far. Okay, yeah. Anyway, today, guys, we're going to talk about why do it yourself is better. Okay. And I'm not just talking about just getting something done. I'm talking about in terms of, other intangibles that, you don't take into consideration, right? Um, like your well being, right? I mean, do you know how satisfying it is to do something yourself, to get it done yourself and not have to wait on people to do it for you? Now, I know that's not how the world runs. We all need people to do certain things, right? We don't want to do everything when it comes to home renovation or something like that, working our cars or something like that by ourselves. We are going to need the professionals. Yes, we are. But, um, there's, the smaller projects that we can tackle. I'm talking about a beginner, a novice, somebody who doesn't necessarily have any experience at all doing fixing things, repairing things, building things. Um, there is such a, in such a great boost to someone's self confidence when you do it yourself. I'm talking about from scratch, right? You plan it, you go get the materials, and you get to work. Even making the mistakes, right? Even making the mistakes are good, right? Because that's how you learn. That's how you learn. So today we're going to talk about some of the benefits, and I want you guys to share as well. Please come on in the chat and tell me about some of the DIY projects that you guys have accomplished. Once again, it doesn't have to be specifically tied to a house or anything like that. It can be anything, right? It can be a car, that you worked on. It can be, I don't know, a boat. It can be anything, right? Yeah, the Waffle 2 DIY is awesome, right? It's one of the to me it's one of the greatest uh, things in life to do, right? It's to figure something out yourself, something that you never um, thought you could do, but you did it anyway, right? You studied it, and you said, "Hey, I'm gonna try this," and you went for it, right? There's a lot of things I still do myself right now, even in the workplace that I haven't done before, but I say, "Hey, I'm gonna go for it, and I'm gonna get it done, right?" And I'm gonna learn whatever it takes, and you get it done. That's such a boost to one's self confidence, right? I mean, DIY. It's been studied. It's been research has been done on this. That when it comes to like things like depression and things like that, that a lot of us, or I say a lot of people, suffer from. Do it yourself is actually a great cure to that, right? So if you're feeling depressed, you're feeling, um, like your life's not going the way you would, find a project to do, find something to dive into head first, learn about, build something that you can look at, right? And say, hey, I did that, right? Or and believe me, it doesn't have to be the biggest thing. It can be something as simple as changing your oil in your car, or changing spark plugs or something like that, or painting your home or knocking down a wall, something like that. Changing a faucet in your kitchen sink or bathroom sink. It's so many things you can do. The Waffle 2 said, once again, the Waffle 2 replaced my smoke alarms after 10 years and learned a lot doing it. There you go. Replacing the smoke alarms. Wow. Hey, that's a great one. Give the Waffle 2 a hand. After 10 years. What's the limit? I think how often do you have to change smoke alarms? I think I may have mentioned something like that in a past live. But that's a good accomplishment there, Waffle 2. I appreciate you, man. Proud of you for doing that. Okay. So yeah, guys, I just want to get on here and talk about the benefits, right? The psychological benefits um, to just doing something yourself, right? Even it doesn't have to be fixing something; it can be just building something, right? I do it all the time, and trust me, I love it. Okay, so let's look at some of the reasons, because I did the research like I always do on this subject. Okay, uh, the reasons why it's so good, right? It's so beneficial to you, and not just you. If you have a family, to get them involved as well. It's a great bonding moment to to build together, to fix things together, right? I remember when I was a kid, uh, uh, it was seven of us, and I was the only one that hung out with my pops, who used to fix things and build things in the back, right? Out of all, he had four boys, three girls, and I don't, forgive me if my family's watching this, but I don't remember anybody else hanging out with him in the back fixing stuff. I was the only one there, so I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. But yeah, it was so satisfying to just learn about stuff, work with your hands. um, it's one of the greatest things to me. So if you got a family, you got kids, get them involved. Get them involved. Teach them something, right? Don't just have them sitting in front of TV or vegging out, on their cell phones all day. Involve your wife, involve whoever. It's a great bonding moment for you guys to build together, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day, right? Because at the end of the day, all you got is family. All you got is the relationships that you've built over your life, right? And nothing else going to matter at that point. And so let's see here. Reasons why DIY is good for your well-being, according to science. Let's see what it says. Let's see what it says. Okay. Working with your hands. Let's see. Our ancestors performed significantly more manual labor than we do today. And if you think about it, that's very true, right? Think about it. Way, way back in the days, you had to do it yourself. You didn't have a phone that you can call up the Roto-Rooter or somebody. You had to figure it out, right? Whatever systems they had back then, back in the primitive times, it was in our nature to do things ourselves. We had to build our own tools and figure things out, right? Whether it's growing our own food, building our own homes, whatever kind of shelter it was back then. Hey, if you want to jump ahead, washing your own clothes. I remember, um, we didn't have a laundromat where I came up, right? I grew up on an island for the first 10 years of my life. And I don't remember going to a laundromat at all. I remember my mother washing clothes on the scrub board, and then you're hanging up on the clothesline in the back. That's what I remember. And that's doing it yourself, right? And like I said, my pops, he built, brick walls and stuff like that. Of course, they had jobs as well, but I don't remember calling a lot of trades, or I don't remember a lot of professional tradespeople coming to the house to fix things. A lot of things we just did ourselves. Okay. And that's what pretty much Calibrate Tools and DIY is all about, right? Teaching you guys how to use tools and different kinds of tools and understanding them so you can do it yourself, not just to build stuff, but to actually enjoy doing it, right? It says modern technology has gradually eliminated the need for us, okay, to toil so much with our hands. Yet anyone who regularly digs in a garden can attest to the benefits of this type of work. Yeah, he's talking about if you got a green thumb and you like to work in your garden and stuff like that. People don't just do it because they do it because they enjoy it. Like most people that like to work in their gardens and do yard work and things like that. I mean, you can call anybody to do that stuff for you, but the people that you see back there, myself included, we like that kind of stuff, right? We like getting dirty. We like getting our hands dirty. Got no problem with that at all, right? Because it's something satisfying about it. It's something that grounds us to, I don't know, grounds us to nature. And basically what we are, as I think at the core of who we are, we are creators, right? We are builders, right? We like to repair and fix things, right? We don't always like to call people to do things, right? Especially if you don't have money, you're going to have to do it yourself anyway, right? You can figure it out. Let's see here. What else is this telling us? The research that I've done here. Like I said, sense of accomplishment. Okay. That's an understatement, right? Anytime you figure something out yourself, whether it could be a math problem, it can be, a woodworking problem, or figure out how a certain tool works. So, yeah, it's just that sense of accomplishment is priceless, right? That's something that you can teach others. That's something that you can, you can hand down, right? You can hand down to your, to your seed, right? So they can know, right, and build, right? So that's the important thing. You got to hand this knowledge down to those who come after us, right? Because at the end of the day, like I said, you want to be able to build your own communities, right? Right. In this harsh world, everybody seems to be at war with each other. You want to be able to find a place on this planet where you're at peace, right? You're at peace, at least when you come home, and that's yours, right? That you cultivated, that you built, and it's for you, your family, your community, however you see that, right? And you can only do that if you know how to build, use your hands as well as your head. Okay. Let's see who else is here. Very Girl Life Note says, best memories was handing my dad tools. He was always fixing on things. Yeah. How many of us had a father like that was always fixing on stuff? And not just father, mother, it doesn't matter. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to, be swinging a hammer. You may have had a mother that knew how to crochet. You may have had a mother that knew how to cook. She taught you how to do it yourself, right? You didn't, today we live in a fast food generation, right? Where, a lot of people just don't know their way around the kitchen, and that's a shame. And I think it's a shame that a lot of kids today, young men, don't know their way around a toolbox. Right? I'm talking like in their 20s. They don't even know. They never handle a drill or a hammer. I've come across that, and it's. But you know what? When I teach them how to use those things, hey, I'm happy for them because at least they're learning, right? At least they're learning. So, yeah, Perigirl Life Notes, having a dad like that is a good thing, right? That's a good thing, right? To be able to learn from your family member, somebody, who's close to you right there, right? You don't have to spend a whole bunch of money trying to figure stuff out. You got somebody right in the house teaching you how to fix things, how to build things. That's a great thing. Yeah. So let's see. Okay. The ability to learn new things comes with the do-it-yourself, movement, right? You're always learning something new. And I think as human beings, we're always striving. I think at least as someone who's self-actualizing, and I know that's a buzzword there, but we always have to learn something new. We should always be seeking to learn new things and apply them in our daily lives. That's part of our. I think that's part of our. That's part of us developing a good psychological environment, right? Because if you're not learning something, you're pretty much stagnant, and nothing good comes out of that. Right? Someone who's not learning something new, let's be honest. Look at the words that come out of their mouth, right? It's not, it's not edifying at all. And but someone who is constantly learning, that's a teacher right there, right? That's someone who's teaching and doesn't have time for all the other BS, right? So that's what we aspire to be, and do it yourself, right? Is a great it's a great way to become that, right? So let's see here, and I'm kind of jumping back and forth here. So come on in, guys. Tell me about some of your DIY projects that you've done, and how did it make you feel? And yeah, the Waffle 2 mentioned what what they did, changing the smoke alarms, right? Very important. Come on in, participate. Okay, participate. Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm tying it all to character building, right? Character building, because at the end of the day, if you take on a project, right, that requires maybe some time, right, it's going to require certain things like discipline and perseverance, right? And that's all part of character building. And you really can't have anything that's long lasting or of value in your life unless you put those ingredients into it, right? They require anything of value in this life is going to require perseverance and it's going to require discipline. Now, if you don't have those two things, then it's not going to happen for you. So taking on a DIY project, learning how to use that new tool, right? watching the Calibrate Tools and DIY channel, subscribe to the Calibrate Tools DIY channel, and learn how to use this stuff. It doesn't have to be, something that's, it can be a fun thing, right? It can be very enjoyable, and you don't have to worry about, not liking it, right? You just got to go for it, right? So, yeah, building character is very important, and you can definitely do that by learning how to build a house, right? Learning how to build a car, learning how to fix a car, things like that, right? So you got to become resilient. You got to become a problem solver. That's pretty much what it is, right? Just solving problems, the whole way through. And that, to me, that's the fun part, problem solving. I run into something that I don't necessarily grasp right away, but then I dig in and I figure it out. And then it makes it even more satisfying when you solve a problem that you were stumped with, right? And you make it happen, right? And that's one of the great things about it. Okay. So, what the Waffle 2 said, my grandfather made me a telegraph key from scratch so I could learn Morse code. Wow. That's very interesting. A telegraph key. I never heard of that. That's something new for me. Now I got something to go research. I know what Morse code is. I think everybody knows what Morse code is, to more or less, right? But what is that? What exactly is a telegraph key? I have no idea. Is that the thing that goes like this for the Morse code? I'm not sure, but that's very interesting. How did he make that, the Waffle 2? Was it made of metal? Was it made of wood? I'm assuming it was made of some type of metal, it being a key and all. But yeah, metal. Okay. Yeah. So do you know Morse code now? How long ago was that, the Waffle 2? Do you still know Morse code? Yeah. See, that's very interesting, right? He had the Waffle 2 had a grandfather, right? Somebody in the family that knew how to build things, right? Knew how to create. Very important. You should always look for that person in your family that's good with their hands, or very creative, right? You can learn a lot from them, right? Because at the end of the day, we have people sitting behind a desk in these office buildings, or in today's world, in their homes. But somebody had to build that desk. Somebody had to build that home that they're sitting in, right? And you can tap it to make dots and dashes. Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, I was visualizing. That's what it was. Yeah. So dots and dashes. That's Morse code. Yep. I may have to look into that more. I remember seeing a lot of it in the movies and all. Yeah. So, yeah, learning how to build, guys. I'm sitting in a building right now. Somebody built this thing. Somebody built this. Somebody fabricated this desk, the metal parts of this desk that I got my laptop resting on right now. Right. Somebody had to do that. Somebody had to figure it out. That took some level of skill. That took some math. Be able to measure. If you know how to measure, right, just read a measuring tape. That's the first step. Learn how to read a measuring tape, because that's half the battle right there. Because once you know how to read a measuring tape and you can get your dimensions right, that's half the battle, right? Then then all have to know how to do is put that stuff together, whether it's with a hammer and nail, right? Whether it's welding, right, which is what I do a lot. However, you need to join those pieces together to create what you need to create. That's pretty much all it takes, right? If you know how to read a measuring tape and you know how to put it together, whatever methods are out there to join two pieces of material together, whether it's a screw, nail, whether you weld it together, whether you glue it together, that's pretty much it. Learning how to simplify a process in your mind first is also half the battle. Knowing the steps and say, okay, don't get confused by reading these directions. What is the overall goal here? The goal is to put something together, right? So it can work, right? And once you approach something from that perspective, it becomes easier, right? To dissect what you're looking at, right? And say, okay, these are the materials I need, and this is what these are the materials that join these things together. And now all I need to do is do it, right? And know how to measure. Once again, measure twice, cut once. Don't forget that either, right? Yeah. So the satisfaction of doing it yourself is just like I said, priceless, right? I urge you guys, if you got nothing else going on, if you want to get, if you really want to find some joy in life, go create something, right? Go build something. Go to Home Depot, look at some projects, go read some books, get on Google and say, okay, what can I build? What can I do with my hands here, right? And you may find that you really love it, right? You may, some people go as far as to even make a business out of it, whatever they feel that, or whatever they fell in love with in terms of do it yourself. They went from a do it yourselfer to an action, took the trade school courses and everything. Now they're a general contractor somewhere, built, just doing what they love, right? Don't knock it till you try it. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, that's very interesting, Waffle too. Well, you got me thinking about that Morse code there and that telegraph key. I'm gonna definitely look that up. Come on in, guys. Tell us what kind of DIY projects that you've tackled that you didn't think you could do, but you put the time in it. It may have taken a little longer than you expected, but that was all part of the process, and you enjoyed that too, right? Because you were learning all along the way, and you're a better person for it because you did something that you think you could, that you thought you couldn't do, right? And it's sitting right there in your house or in your yard or something like that, and you love to brag about it to your friends. I mean, I was at a trade show, maybe a few months back, and a lot of these guys came with their classic cars and stuff like that, and they took so much pride in building these cars out. I mean, just tricked out cars to the nth degree. And you gotta, me personally, I haven't built a car out like that myself, but I gotta give it to these guys. I mean, they love that world so much that they put their all into these cars, man, and they just they look absolutely amazing. Some of the stuff they do with these cars, and they do it. A lot of them do it themselves, or they work amongst each other. But it's just a testament to how some people find peace, right? That's their heaven. That's their slice of heaven right there. Whether it's that car, tricking that car out, whether I've been a trucker for a long time. I even know truckers who've tricked their trucks out, right? The big diesel big rigs out. And if that's their slice of heaven, hey, I'm not knocking that at all, right? Hey, Daryl, the finisher, how you doing? Long time no see. What did you do, Daryl? You said you started with flooring and learned okay, I get what you're saying. You started with flooring and you learned everything else. That's what I'm talking about, right? You got to start somewhere, right? Don't it doesn't matter. You can start, there's doors into the DIY world. There's a million doors, right? And once you get the bug, man, that's it. It's in there. It's in there. Once you've built something and you say, man, I did that. You look at it and say, yeah, man, what else can I do, right? What else can I do? And I'm especially targeting or talking to the young kids out there who's looking for direction, who may be looking for direction in their lives, and they like to they have a knack for working with their hands, or they would like to learn a new skill, a new trade, or something like that. Go for it. Don't hesitate. It can open up so many doors for you. You'd be amazed. Like I always say, I'm a welding instructor as well, and I got people coming into the program all the time who had no experience at all. And once they get the bug, I mean, they light up. It's off and running, right? And I've seen their lives change, and I mean, from one extreme to the next, right? All because they took that chance, and it didn't cost them anything, right? It didn't cost them anything. They did, but they had the discipline and the character to stick it out. Because if you don't have those things, who cares, right? I mean, those are the main ingredients that are going to make you successful at whatever you do. You have to have discipline, and you can't go off of what you feel, right? Because your emotions will get you in trouble. You have to discipline and perseverance have nothing to do with emotion, right? It just has to do with doing what needs to be done. Okay. And regardless of whether you feel like it or not. And if you can cultivate that in your life, you're gonna get so far ahead in your life, it's not even gonna be funny, right? Versus someone, right, that's led by their emotions all day long. Hey, but I don't want to digress. Okay. So yeah, Daryl, the finisher. By the way, the finisher. Is that finished carpentry, Daryl? what does finisher stand for? Because you could be like the guy that handles business for people. I don't know. You know what I mean? Um, but I like that, man. The finisher in bold letters. That's telling me Daryl is pretty confident about what he is and what he does and the skills that he has. Otherwise, he wouldn't just broadcast he's a finisher all over the place like that. So yeah, I appreciate the confidence, Daryl. That's what I want to see. Somebody who knows who they are, right? There's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. Somebody who steps out into the world, they know they got the skills to handle business, and they're letting everybody know. Okay, yeah. But hey, I would like to know what kind of finisher are you, though? Seriously, I might need you for something. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, DIY is such a rewarding, right? It's such a rewarding um, endeavor. I know we hear the term all the time, but yeah, try it out. It's just like going to school, right? There's nothing better than taking yourself to school yourself, right? Because you're the one making the effort. Nobody's forcing you to go. You don't have to go there uh, to a classroom and sit down because somebody told you to. No, you're doing it yourself because you want to, right? You want to learn something, and that's one of the greatest forms of motivation you can think of, when you yourself are motivated to go do something, right? And that's you're motivated to dig in and learn and make it happen. So yeah, all right. So come on in, guys. We got the Waffle 2 smoke alarms. We got Daryl flooring. That's how Daryl started. He got in the flooring world, and next thing you know, he went stir crazy. And now look at him. Yeah, and do it yourself is a great form of exercise. Like guys like me who's trying to get in shape. I'm always trying to get in shape. But it's a great form of exercise, right? Burns those calories. I'm telling you, right? So if you're looking to burn calories and you're trying to figure it out, and you don't want to jump on a treadmill for 3 hours or whatever, because it's so monotonous, find something. You don't have to do that. You can just find a project to not only exercise your body, but exercise your mind as well, right? Maybe you want to learn how to grow your own food in the back, build a mini farm, right? That's a physical workout. Let me tell you, that's a physical workout. And not only will you be working your body out, but you'll be benefiting as well. You're building something, right? You're building a farm. You can grow your own food and all that stuff. I mean, come on, that's the best combination. Why not combine the two and not kill two birds with one stone, right? Or if you want to build that deck in the back, right? And once again, I got to backtrack here. Some things you should not attempt to do yourself because they may require permits, right? They may require permits, or they may be, if it involves anything structural or any electrical and plumbing projects that need to be done, that I would stay away from those, right? But yeah, anything else, go for it, right? And kill two birds with one stone. Get a good workout, and also end up building something in the process. All right. And last but not least, guys, why is it so good to do things yourself? And that should be pretty obvious. Daryl the Finisher said, I started a business called The Finisher. Wow, okay. I do home improvement. I tell customers that once you call me, it's the last call you'll have to make. I like that, man. I like that, Daryl. Hey, Daryl, can I use that? No. Nah, that's you. I'm just kidding. But I love that. I love that. I love that line. That's some great marketing because it exudes confidence. And who wouldn't want somebody like that to work on their stuff, right? The last call you got to make. I do everything from appliance installs to small remodels. Wow, man, that's what you call a skilled tradesman, right? Skilled tradesman, but he's working for himself. That's another thing. The more you learn how to do things yourself, the more you increase your chances of being successful, right? Because now you have options, right? You don't necessarily have to rely on calling others for yourself or calling others for others. You can do it for others and, reap the rewards. And that's what Daryl the Finisher did. That's what Daryl did. Perry Girl Life Notes, you beat me to the punch. One of the greatest things about doing it yourself is you're able to save money. Yeah, save money, right? If you plan and research properly. Absolutely, right? Yeah, as long as you're not approaching a project that you shouldn't be approaching, as far as DIY, there are limits to it. There's some you will need to call professionals like Daryl the Finisher at times, right, to handle certain things, right? Like when it comes to like knowing where the gas lines are and digging those up and doing some serious plumbing work, serious electrical work, leave that to the pros, okay? Because there are certain codes and regulations that you don't know anything about, but they do. That's why they're licensed, okay? So you want to call the pros in to do that. But it's nothing wrong with learning that either. I mean, learning that as well, right? Get a code book and learn all about it. What's stopping you from doing that? Okay? But yeah, you will save a whole lot of money, a ton of money if you know how to do certain things yourself. Not only that, time, right? A lot of time contractors, they come to the site, your house or whatever, and they start working, but you have to understand that you're not the only job they have. They have multiple other jobs going on besides yours, right? So you may see them one day, and then the next day you may not see them for a couple of days. So the time factor, right? It takes much longer to do certain things, right? That you could have done yourself, right? But once again, you got to qualify that. Is that a job that you can do yourself? So it can save you time, it can save you money, and that's the great thing about knowing how to do things yourself. Without planning, you spend $1 million trying to save a penny. Yeah, absolutely. Very good life knows. Yeah, you got to plan. You got to strategize. You got to write it down. And it's nothing wrong with consulting an actual tradesman who knows how to do things, right? Professionals, and getting their feedback before you actually start the project, right? Consult them. You might want to pay them a fee. Hey, I need your consultation on this. I need your advice on this. And then, I'm about to approach this myself, this job. What do you suggest? And all that stuff, right? And so there's nothing wrong with doing that. And then you can go ahead and do it yourself after that. So you want to be wise, right? You don't just want to jump into something because you watched a YouTube video or something like that, or read something on Google, right? Which may not be as accurate. And hey, I'm on YouTube. I encourage you guys to watch my videos. Matter of fact, I encourage you to leave something in the comments that you thought was, could be improved upon. I'm not one of those YouTubers. I don't even consider myself a YouTuber. I consider myself someone on YouTube who's just here to educate, right? And tell you about who I am, just like Daryl the Finisher does, right? By the way, guys, Calibrate.com. If you really want to support this channel, go pick up a product from Calibrate.com. We got a couple of nice household tool kits on there. Got picture hanging tools. I'm constantly looking for new products to expand the line. Okay, guys, to give you guys a chance to support the channel. Okay, I'm not asking for donations or anything like that. I want to give something in return. Okay, that's what I'm about. So yeah, check out Calibrate.com. That'll be a great way to keep this going. Okay, yeah, but yeah, Perry Life Notes, you can't stress enough. You got to plan. You got to strategize. You got to, like I said, measure twice, cut once. Okay. In other words, if you got to go over it 1 million times before you jump into it. Just make sure you get it right, right? So you won't have too many problems, right? And you'll be okay. But yeah, once again, guys, I urge you guys to, hey, take a risk. You know, if there's something that's bothering you around the house and you don't have the money, but it's not something that that you shouldn't approach. It's something that you can do if you know how to do it. It doesn't involve like violating any codes or regulations. It doesn't even have to be perfect, but you know that if you applied yourself, if you knew what to do, you can fix it. You can fix it yourself. You can build it yourself. Maybe you want to build a shed out back. Maybe you want to build that dog house or something like that. Yeah, go ahead and try. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt to try. The worst thing that can happen is it's going to fall apart. Just don't be standing under it when it does. And then and if that happens, you just do it again, right? You do it till you get it right. And that should be your motto in life. Don't give up until you get it right. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys coming on. I'm not going to stay on too long tonight, but yeah, it's a great morale booster when you can manifest something yourself. Okay. And you can do that. So thanks for coming on, guys. Appreciate everybody that came on tonight. Perry Life Notes, Waffle 2, Daryl the Finisher. Okay. Appreciate you guys and everybody else watching now and in the replay. I'll see you guys next time, Tuesday. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.